What's going on, everybody? I got a special here for y'all because I went through the anguish and the pain of rewatching the South Carolina UConn game to just re verify for myself what I thought I saw in that game. And in that game, uh, South Carolina was better defensively than I initially thought. I'm transparent. I don't pull punches. I don't BS you. I thought they were better than I thought. At the same time, the comments that were made about Azzi Fudd and how she played, well, and the defense that had been played on her by Raven Johnson, well, not exactly factual. And I said very clearly that Azzi Fudd just missed a lot. Like, this wasn't a case of she was locked down by anyone. Azzi Fudd just missed a hell of a lot in this game, and Azzi Fudd missed a bunch of wide open shots. Like, I'm gonna show you the video, and you can debate it all you want. She was 3 of 15. She was 2 of 9 from three. There wasn't a singular contested 3-point shot that she took in the game. And so when you tell me, first of all, when you tell me I only got smoked for Raven Johnson, that's just wholly inaccurate because I'll repeat again. My issue with Raven Johnson is not with Raven Johnson. My issue with Raven Johnson is her fan base that lives in this state of delusion that proclaims her to be the next coming of God. And I just don't roll like that. It's the same nonsense from the Angel Reese fan base. I don't roll with it. And I'm gonna come back at it with the truth. And if you don't like it, I don't care. But I've been critical of AZ Fudd quite often. I've always thought that AZ Fudd was highly overrated. I feel like she's always been the beneficiary of the Gino Ariema, UConn backing, and all that stuff. So I've never been one to sit here and glaze AZ Fudd. I think she is a shooter. I've said I think she is a shooter, and I will for always stand on that she is just a shooter. That's what her game is. That's what it's been. That's what it will be. And her performance in last year's Final Four, which was good, very good, in fact, is what convinced people that she was some amazing player. She played very well off of Paige Beckers and the attention that Paige Beckers commanded. Yeah, I criticized Paige Beckers. Yes, I did. That's part of the Caitlin Clark thing. We love our Caitlin Clark. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I think AZ Fudd's a better basketball player than Paige Beckers. That's asinine. Okay. That said, we are sitting here right now and we are evaluating this game against South Carolina. And realistically, yes, I think South Carolina played better defense than I thought they initially played. From a perspective of they were in the passing lanes pretty well. They kept the bounce pass backdoors, the backdoor cuts. I thought the spacing for UConn was terrible. I think UConn's lack of a real point guard was really evident. KK Arnold's not a real point guard to me. She's not a good point guard. She creates nothing for no one. Their offense runs completely through Sarah Strong. And that's largely why Sarah Strong plays 25 feet from the rim because their point guard creates zero. Kaylee Heckle off the bench probably should have played more than KK Arnold, but she's also a sophomore, and Gino doesn't seem to like younger players, just like other teams that we've seen, like South Carolina, where Dawn Staley doesn't seem to like younger players. So while she played, she does make mistakes, and she struggled at times, especially late in the game. And I don't know that she knows her role really, because Gino Ariema says out loud, "I don't trust my freshman at all." Like, I know she's not a freshman, but she's new to your team. And at times, like, I think Kelly Heckle's better than KK Arnold, period. Period. and she probably should have been your starting point guard, but you chose to go a different direction, and you got a point guard in KK Arnold who can't get anybody the ball. Like they couldn't even dump the ball onto the paint. You can't even dump in the post. Their game, and people were arguing with me saying that their game is not reliant on the 3-point shot. Well, that's nonsense. Their game is heavily reliant on the 3-point shot, and that's why their last two games against North Carolina and Notre Dame did not look good because they weren't hitting threes. And if they're not hitting threes, well, then nothing else opens up. And that's what happened against South Carolina because they could not hit jump shots from the perimeter. Nothing else opened up. So they were able to crush it down and play those tight passing lanes and knock passes away, whether it was from Fudd, from whoever, from Sarah Strong. There were a number of players who just couldn't make basic passes. So I rewatched the game. Here's clips, and note that these clips they're broadcast, but I found them on YouTube because the way that some of these YouTube channels manage to clip their games together is based on they adjust the camera so it doesn't look like stuff, so you can avoid getting hit with a strike or something like that, and that's how it stays up online. And so that you're going to see some of the stuff is kind of off, so don't shoot me over it, please. It's just to show you that Azzi Fudd was open the entire game, and also show you that Azzi Fudd can't dribble a basketball, and Azzi Fudd is not a point guard, and Azzi Fudd can't get by anybody off the bounce, and she does a lot of sideways dribbling and has no left hand. Again, I've said it. She's a shooter, and on some nights, shooters miss. It's that simple. On some nights, shooters miss. And in this particular game, she missed. But it's also an example of why she should not be even remotely considered a top 5 player. She shouldn't have been an All-American. That's part of the UConn machine. They uplift them based on team record over actual production. There are other players that should have been first team. Hannah Hidalgo should have been first team. I think we all know that. She is a tough defensive player. She plays hard defense. I'm not questioning her effort or anything like that. I don't question effort. Like, effort is something that you can see when people play hard. They have a great defense. They only give up 50 points per game this year. So she's part of that defense. And she's a thick girl. She's not small. Some people say she's small. She's 5'11", 6 foot tall, and the girl probably weighs 175. She's way bigger than Paige Beckers in terms of girth. So, at least to me. If she weighs less than 175, I'd be shocked, but they don't really publish women's weight too much. So this is video from the game, and just to show you what was going on. As you can see right here, that's the wrong window. Okay, right there. There's KK Arnold. Again, she does nothing with the ball. Here's Azzi Fudd coming off of a curl. That is a wide open shot. And y'all told me that Raven Johnson was guarding her. Again, this is a wide open shot, people. Like, you can sit here and tell me what you want. This is wide open. If this is Steph Curry taking this shot, it's a wide open shot. Understand my definition of, I'm going to explain to you my definition of what a wide open shot is. I'm sorry. I got to lift this chair. This chair keeps on squatting. I need a new chair again. These chairs are shit, and I've lost weight. So it's like I'm not fat that I've broken the chair. So the chair just sucks. Hand down, man down. That's you've heard Mark Jackson say on television when he was a commentator. And that's really what this is here. It's hand down, man down. Azzi Fudd's wide open here. This is a 14-foot jump shot off of a curl. And if that's Steph Curry, that is a bucket. If that's any legitimate NBA shooter, that's a bucket, right? And I would guarantee you that if you asked Azzi Fudd, is that an open look, she would tell you yes. And she would tell you she should hit that shot every time. Paige Beckers hits that shot. Paige Beckers hits that. That was Paige Beckers' game, right? So, again, let's take a look. Off the curl. Off the curl. She's got Raven Johnson trailing. She's on her back hip. She's right-handed. That is a wide open look. She doesn't even get her hand up. That's a wide open look. And she bricked it, okay? It's a wide open look. Brick. All right. Let's take a look at what we got here. Here's Azzi Fudd off of the curl again, coming around the screen. She's got her. She's got 3 people guarding her. She kicks it over, but it didn't do anything, right? Realistically, what should have happened here is KK Arnold should have been cut into the rim. She should have been bounce passing, getting there right about here. I'm using my arrow. KK Arnold should have cut right to the rim. She should have gotten to about 10 feet and taken a quick 10-foot jump shot. Instead, you got nothing. Back to Azzi Fudd. Got Joyce Edwards on her. This should be barbecue chicken. She should be able to get around Joyce Edwards with ease, but she can't dribble. Look at sideways dribbling. She can't dribble. You can't get past Joyce Edwards. You can't get past. You're a guard. You're a guard. It's a lot of wasted motion. Eventually she throws it back door as a layup. I mean, I'm sorry, it was a turnover. It wasn't a turnover. It ended up being a layup that got bounced over to Sarah Williams. But here we go. Here's Azzi Fudd, wide open. That ball's released. Some of y'all will say that's contested because the hand is up right here. No, that is the definition of a wide open shot. She has released this ball. Unless this girl blocks this shot because she has extendo arms, that's Medina Oka. I don't give a shit. That ball, when she's going up for this shot, folks, that's wide open. There is 5 feet between Medina Oka and Azzi Fudd. She's got that shot's released before Medina Oka gets off the ground. She missed. Again, another ball that I would tell you that if you asked her, she said she should make that. This is why I keep telling y'all, she's just a shooter. She's just a shooter. And this was not a game of Raven Johnson exceptional defense. Again, another wide open look. She took 15 shots, by the way. 15 shots. She hit 3. 2 threes and about a 5-footer. Okay. The most contested look that she had in this game was on a layup. That if she had any ability to finish, she probably should have made. But there were the 2 most contested looks were both layups. Here again, she's got Makir on her. I mean, what is she doing? It's like a lot of thinking. What are you doing? Dribble left. Oh, yeah. She has no left. She doesn't dribble left at all. She's waiting for Sarah Williams to set a very awkwardly angled screen. Oh, okay. And then she just loses the ball because she can't dribble, and that's a layup. Y'all tell me she's some great player. She's a shooter. Here we go. Sarah Williams, Azzi Fudd. I got Makir's chasing. Wide open. Wide open. Wide open. Look, brick. Another brick. This is all in the first 13 minutes of the game. Now, I contend to you, and I give this to you. If she hits any of these looks, like I'm not gonna say one, but if she hits half of these shots, half, UConn wins this game. UConn wins this game, people, if she hits half these shots. That in the first half, because you just saw 2 wide open threes that she just bricked, and a wide open 12-footer. That's 8 points. Changes the game. Here we go, Azzi Fudd. This is the one shot she hit. Again, open look. Tessa Johnson didn't even get off the ground. That's the 2 points she had in the first. Here we go. Oh, let's look at it again. Those were the 2 points she had in the first half. Again, look at the score, 26-23. UConn, a minute to go in the half. You hit this shot, you change the game. Again, you're a shooter. Boom. Wow, look at it. Makir's stuck. Look at this. Wide open. Brick. Not even close. Like, again, don't tell me this is a contested look. This is not a contested look. She has this girl falling over. She's already in her shooting motion. Makir is trying to close out, but she's already in her shooting motion. I give Makir credit for trying. She's not contesting that shot. That shot's not contested. Shooters, that ain't a contested shot. For me, maybe. For you, the public, yeah. For a shooter, no. That's a wide open look. And by the way, that's not Raven Johnson, because that's the first half where Raven Johnson was sitting on the bench. Right? All right, that's a brick. So you could have had a 29-23 game right there. Instead, it's still 26-23. It ends up being 26-24. I think I've played this twice just so you can see it again. I think I did. I gave it to y'all twice. No, this is a little bit later in the half. It's 26-24. So now she's got 3 wide open threes that she's missed. Here we go. There's Azzi Fudd. She kicks it over. She's now wide open again. Oh, missed by Heckle. Gotta make that shot. There's Fudd again. People. Did you see the amount of space on that look? There's not, the girl is barely on the screen. She's barely on the screen. There, Agat Makir is on the edge of my screen. She is literally on the edge of my screen. Look at this. That is a wide open look, and it's another brick. Like, these shots, people are not, they're not even close. 0 for 4. If she hits 2 of those open threes, and there were 4 of them, if she hits 2 of them, 2. This game is 32-24 at halftime. You tell me the difference of 32-24 or 26-24. We already know the answer to the question. This is a player that shot 45% from 3 this year, because most of the shots that she takes are wide open. That's the benefit and the blessing of playing at UConn. Your team is so good, and you got so much more talent than everybody else, that you're going to have a lot of open looks. And I don't want to hear about the competition. It's like they've gone this competition route. It's just so crazy, because last year they won the national championship, largely playing the same teams. No, playing the exact same conference, in fact. So all of a sudden they play nobody. Last year, if you want to dig a little deeper on it, last year when they played, let's see who they played. They played USC. We all know they played USC on that neutral site. Let's see here. Might their schedule last year have been slightly better? Maybe by a smidge. So they played last year. They played North Carolina, beat them by 11. Ole Miss beat them by 13. Louisville beat them by 33. They lost to Notre Dame. Notre Dame had a better squad last year with Hidalgo and Miles, but Azzi Fudd was injured at the time, so she didn't play in that game. You think that matters? I'd say yeah. I would say yeah. It made a difference not having Azzi Fudd in that game. So they lost to USC. And then the rest of their schedule, they played Tennessee, just like they played Tennessee this year. They didn't play South Carolina this year. They beat South Carolina last year by 29. And then they beat them again by 23. Like, this schedule is not much different. There's not anything different about the schedule. This year, they played Louisville, beat them up. They beat Michigan. They beat SC by 28. They beat Iowa by 26. They beat Tennessee by 30. These are their non-conference games. They beat Florida State by 32. They weren't very good. Like, they won non-conference games, and you want to sit here and say they played nobody. This is largely the same freaking schedule. It's not much different, right? Again, if you're up 32-24 at halftime and not 26-24, you're feeling a little bit different, and South Carolina's feeling a little bit different. So let's continue. Here on the second half, there's Azzi Fudd. This is That was an air ball. That shot right there was an air ball. Air ball. That's a wide open. That's Raven Johnson on her, by the way. Dribble right by to the left. Beat her right off the bounce. Again, this great defensive player. Azzi Fudd can't dribble, and she just beat her off the bounce like she wasn't even there. Boom. She's up. She's behind her. It's an easy shot, and she shoots a fucking air ball. Come on. Here's Fudd. Here's Raven Johnson, just takes the ball from her. I think she just takes the ball from her here. Because she can't dribble. I'm sorry. Here's Fudd dribbling the circle. Oh, that's a layup. A right-handed layup. Medina Okot didn't get off the ground. All right? Medina Okot didn't get off the ground. Look at Okot. She's stuck in mud. That shot's in the air. Like, that's uncontested. So have you seen one contested shot yet? I'll wait. Have you seen a contested look this entire game? That's an open layup. And it wasn't close. Brick. Brick. Here's Azzi Fudd just getting her pocket picked by Raven Johnson. Okay, Raven Johnson's defense, baby! Woo-hoo. That was Raven Johnson's only 2 points of the game right here. But this is Azzi Fudd dribbling the ball. Just completely terrible. Okay, this wasn't the one where she had a layup. She had a layup a little on another play then. But this one here, she got her pocket picked, and Raven Johnson misses the layup here. I mean, get credit to Azzi Fudd for getting back on defense, but what the hell was Raven Johnson doing? I don't know. There was another one where she had her pocket picked, I think, by Azzi Fudd, by Raven Johnson or something like that, and she got a layup on it. There's another wide open shot. Again, another wide open look. Is this an open look to you? Look at this. Nobody's covering her. Nobody's covering her. This one went in though. This was a bucket. This was the 9-0 run that made it 40-39. This was 39. That's the first three she hit at the 107 mark of the game. But again, another wide open shot, right? Just want to clarify and confirm the openness of it. This is going to make it 40. I don't know. This is a pick. Okay, there's Raven Johnson guarding her. She dribbles all the way to the rim. This might be the most contested look of the game, and Raven Johnson's on her left hip. She's right-handed, and there's nobody in front of her, and she just shoots an absolute fucking brick. So she misses an open. I mean, if that's the most contested look of the game, considering Raven Johnson's on her left hip, folks, if you know basketball, if you're on my left hip and I'm right-handed and I got a layup right there, and I'm a player, that's an easy bucket. That's a bucket. I'm not a hooper. I'm not a great basketball player. I know I coach great basketball players who play Division I basketball. Guys on your hip and you're right-handed, she cannot contest your shot without fouling. And the fact that Azzi Fudd managed to do all that, not get fouled because she rushes the shot because she's scared to death, because she's just a shooter, well, that's a layup right there. And she missed by a mile. This is where she hits a three to make it 46-42 actually here. She's wide open again. Another wide open look. Swish. So that's her 2 threes. So it's 46-42. I may have missed one of her shots here, but that's another wide open look. There you go. Another wide open look. 46-42, 7:32 to go. If she hits this shot, it's 46-45. With 7.5. Now, you tell me this isn't an important look. Maddie McDaniel is literally contesting or trying to contest from 2 feet behind the three-point line. She's on the outside of Azzi Fudd. This is not a contest. This is I'm throwing my hand up in the air. That's not a contest. That is a wide open look. There's nothing distracting Azzi Fudd on this shot. Zero.
Well, I'm not in the official.
Look at this. She's wide open. Look where Maddie McDaniel is. She's literally standing on the top of the key. And Azzi Fudd is 2.5 feet behind the three-point line. This is a wide open brick. She missed it by a mile again. Another brick. Here we go. Here's Fudd. Over there on the left-hand side. Watch, this is wide open. Wide open air ball. Air ball. Tania Latson's 5'8". All right, that's not a contest either. She's 5'8". Fudd is 6 foot tall. She's wide. She catches this thing wide. She's already in shooting motion. Air ball. Air ball. Again, 51-44. It would have made it 51-47. It's 5.5 to go. The next time Sarah Strong hits a three, makes it 51-47. I'm telling you right now, people, the reality is this in this game. Azzi Fudd missed wide open shots all game. It wasn't about any great defense that was played on her. This was the entirety of the game. Missed open looks. Here we go again. It's 55-47. Game still ain't over, right? You'd say it's not over, right? I would think. There's Fudd. Dribble drive. Look at this. She's left-handed. She's right-handed. Here's the thing. She's right-handed. You got Joyce Edwards on the right. You got Medina Okot way outside, beating. Tessa Johnson's on her right hip. Maddie McDaniel is on the box on the left, on the top. And you've got Tanaya Latz in there who just got beat. So Azzi Fudd, at the very, very least, should have gotten fouled here. Okay? She has everybody beat. This is easy. Edwards does not come in. Medina comes behind. Tessa Johnson's on her right hand. Again, she has no left. But even if she comes back to her right, she's probably going to get fouled. And again, she's petrified. She's scared. They're down 8. There's 2:34 to go. And she has again, if that's the most contested look of the game, and you got the girl beat. Look at how Tessa Johnson is defending this. Like, it's embarrassing. Look where this ball goes. Dude, look at where this ball goes. Again, she's got her beat. She's already beat. This ball hit the left side of the backboard. Almost like she just threw it like a rock at the backboard. But if that was the most contested look of the game, and it was still an open shot, if she had a left, if she had a left hand, it's a layup. Not even close. I think this will be the last one right here. Wide open again. This is like the Lexi Hull video I did for y'all when I said to y'all last year for the Indiana people that come watch this show. When I did the Lexi Hull thing, I showed y'all the video of literally every shot Lexi Hull took. Every three Lexi Hull took that year that she made was wide open because of Caitlin Clark. This is This is like the same thing. Every one of these shots is an open look. Wide open shot. Rick. So that's your video right there. That is what you saw from Azzi Fudd in the Final Four. She went 3 of 15. She hit 2 of 9 from 3, and you saw every three she took was wide open. At the very least, every three she took was wide open. And she had two wide open mid-range shots from between 8 and 12. And both of those were wide open. So she hit 2 threes. She missed 9 wide open jump shots. Okay. So that was 11 shots. There was the one that she hit from about 4 or 5 feet out in the first half, the only point she had in the first half. So that's 3 of 12. Maybe I missed one more shot that I didn't see in the film. Maybe I missed it. Or was it the 3 layup? Every one of them layups was an open look. Like, this wasn't elite defense. This wasn't Raven Johnson. As you saw most of these plays, Raven Johnson wasn't even guarding her. Like, if you look at most of these plays, you had Agat Makir on her. You had the layup that was not even really contested by Medina Okot. You got the layup by, again, Tessa Johnson. You got the 2 wide open jumpers on Raven that she missed both on, where Raven was literally on her back. And every 3 was open. Agat Makir was mainly the one guarding her. But y'all told me that that Raven Johnson shut her down. No, she barely guarded her. And some of y'all will say, well, she made her run around. That's how shooters play basketball, folks. Shooters in basketball are running and running and running. You need to be in exceptional shape to be a shooter in basketball because you're running off of screens. That's what she's doing most of this game, running off screens. She can't create her own shot. She doesn't have the skills to create her own shot because she's just a shooter. Shooters don't create their own shot. Shooters run off screens, they get open, and they shoot the ball. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is not a shooter. He's a scorer. Scorers get their shot. James Harden, he ain't a shooter. He's a scorer. Scorers get their own shot. Steph Curry isn't really a shooter. If you want to be completely real about it, he's a scorer. He creates his own shot all day long. He just is the greatest shooter of all time. But he creates his own shot. Azzi Fudd cannot get you bop and then pull up. You see what happened when they made her dribble the ball and put it on the ground? She missed every time. Because great shooters, the shooters are not really good with the ball handling. She can't dribble. She's got no left hand. She goes right almost all the time. When she goes left, it's a flipping disaster. She can't finish with a layup with her left hand. She can't finish layup with her right hand. This is someone who, at the end of the day, you want to make the number one pick in the draft? You want to make her the number one pick in the draft? Or number 2 or 3 or 4? Azzi Fudd shouldn't even be in the top 7. But she's part of this UConn machine that's made her more than she is. Similarly to the South Carolina people who believe that Raven Johnson is more than she is. Azzi Fudd's a role player. She's a good role player, but she's a role player. If you basketball for more than 5 minutes and you watch Azzi Fudd play, she's a role player. And here's another thing. Here's another thing. Go look at what Azzi Fudd did the last 3 games. The last 3. Azzi Fudd averaged 17.3 points, 48% from the field, 95% from the line, 45% from 3. She averaged less than 3 rebounds. She averaged 3 assists and 2.5 steals. She doesn't make people around her better. She's not a creator. She finished the game with 8 points, 1 rebound, 5 assists. They lost 62-48. And I showed you the plays where she just lost the ball and threw the ball away and all that crap. Her last 3 games, she had 8. She had 13 against Notre Dame. If you remember that, she was like 5 turnovers in that game. She shot 41%. 2 rebounds, 4 assists. She was 5 of 12 from the field. She missed her only 3. Against North Carolina, she had 10 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. She was 4 of 12, and she hit 2 of her 3 3-pointers. The only good game she had in the tournament was against Syracuse. She had 34 in that game. She was 13 of 18, 8 of 11. She literally blew her wad in that game because the other 4 games combined, she scored 38 points. And in that one game, she had 34. So as a shooter, she has the ability to go off. But she also has the ability to go 2 of 12 like she did versus Xavier for 6 points. But because she plays for UConn, they won 97-39. Okay? She has the ability to play Providence and go 5 of 16 and have 13 and go 3 of 13 from 3 and they win 81-38. Well, you're not playing Providence. You're not playing Xavier. You're playing South Carolina. She has the ability to go Another one here, 6 of 16 against Seton Hall. 16 points. They win 84-48. Hell, I would have taken that 6 for 16 against South Carolina. They could have won the game. And then you get another one like she balled out against Michigan. And then she has 8 points against, I don't even know what school this is. What is this? Loyola of Chicago, where she had 9, 3 of 8. So Azzi Fudd, like I said, on this UConn team, she's this number 2 scorer. She's the number 2 option. In the WNBA, she's a role player. She's a role player, and they want to draft her in the top 3. And I know people have made the comparison in my live about Sonia Citron. I think her and Sonia Citron are very, very similar players. I do not think Citron's a great athlete. She's a shooter, no different than Azzi Fudd. They're going to have the same role in the WNBA. They both play defense. They both play hard. They both can shoot the ball. Neither of them will ever be a number 1 option. They will never be the star of the team. They're more likely the 3rd option, just like Citron was for multiple years at Notre Dame. Azzi Fudd was elevated to the 2nd option this year because Paige Beckers left. She was the 3rd option last year, and she capitalized on being the 3rd option because she was unguarded, because Paige Beckers had all the attention. Sarah Strong had all the attention. So at the end, and she capitalized by performing. Well, in this particular game, she's now the 2nd option, and you needed 2 of the 3 best players to perform, as they did with Sarah Strong and Azzi Fudd, while Paige Beckers kind of sucked. I mean, remember, Paige Beckers kind of sucked in the Final Four last year. So she kind of sucked. So at the end of the day, the 2 of the 3 performed, and they won because they had 2 of their 3 perform. But they didn't have a 3rd this year. They had 2. And in this case, neither of them performed. Sarah Strong, though, her shots were more contested, albeit Sarah Strong also missed multiple layups around the rim that she should otherwise make, and that made a difference. I would contend to you that if Azzi Fudd had just gone, she ended up 3 of 15. If she goes 8 of 15, she goes 7 of 15. 7 of 15. And again, 7 of 15, she was 2 of 9 from 3. 7 of 15, she's shooting 46.6%, which is under her season. Hell, the game was a 4-point game with 4 minutes to go, and you saw back-to-back 3. You saw 2 threes in that period that Azzi Fudd blew wide open in the 4th quarter. Okay, and you also at 8 points, it's 55-47. They started fouling, and Tania Latson's last 7 points were from the free throw line to make it 62-48. So if you are going 7 of 15, and you presume those are 3-point shots because that's the reality, is most of her shots are from 3, and they're wide open looks. Well, now you have a completely different game, because that makes it 62-60 on the final. But it's different because those free throws probably never happen because they're not fouling late in the game. Her inability to hit shots from the perimeter on Friday are largely the reason UConn lost. And you saw on video just now exactly what I said, is that it wasn't anything South Carolina did defensively. Azzi Fudd just missed shots. And sometimes that's what happens in basketball. Sometimes shooters miss. But she also had an elevated role this year on this team because of that UConn thing, because of whatever happened last year, because they didn't have another player that was better than her on this roster. And she had to carry that load that she was not, that maybe again in regular season games she was prepared to carry. In the postseason, she didn't carry it in 4 or 5 games. In the postseason, she did not carry that in 4 or 5 games. She is a role player. And I don't know if UConn fans will argue this with me. You can argue till you're blue in the face. She is not a top 5 level player. She should not be drafted in the top 5. Anyone even trying to convince me that she should be drafted have Lauren Betts You are on drugs. You are on drugs. And if they draft her to Dallas, and I've seen that her stock has dropped a little bit, but if they draft her to Dallas, no one picking the draft because Paige Beckers wants her, then Dallas deserves what they get because they're not going to win with that. You can win with that bullshit at UConn. You're not winning with that in the WNBA. You're not. She's a shooter, a role player, not a star. Not a star. So now that you've seen all this, you let me know your thoughts in the comments. Was it exceptional defense that slowed Azzi Fudd down against South Carolina, or did she just miss? Was the moment too big? I don't even know if it was too big. I just think she just missed. She just missed. Maybe the moment was too big. I don't know. But she just missed. She was uncontested on pretty much every shot she took in that game. And generally speaking, she hits 45% of those threes. So that would be 4 of 9, 5 of 9. She missed. The first half was especially bad because if she makes a couple of those, they're up 8-10 going into halftime. Different ball game. So hit the like button. Leave your comments. Hit the hype button. Let me know what you think. This is Her Game, Her Way. And of course, subscribe to the channel. This is Her Game, Her Way Women's Basketball, powered by Come On Now, the podcast. Come on now.